Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the prelim fights for UFC 244, Masvidal versus Diaz. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the card and our first prelim. So in our first fight, we have in the featherweight division, Julio Arce versus Hakeem Dawodu. So looking at this fight, you got two very solid fighters right here. Definitely two guys to look out for in the division, especially as they rise up. Looking at Julio Arce, he's a more, well-rounded fighter with his grappling aspects as well. We haven't really seen too much grappling for Hakeem Dawodu outside of defensively. So Arce definitely has some underrated ground game with the takedowns, with the submissions, with the ground and pound, the control. He has a lot of underrated stuff there. His takedown offense isn't all that great, so that's a factor in there. But between I see this fight, I see it mostly as a striking match. Arce will try some takedowns, but I think Dawodu's defense is good enough to defend most of that. Even if he gets on the ground, I think he's defensively sound enough to maybe he had to endure that a little bit till he had the opportunity to slow back to his feet. So I really see this fight playing out to who can win on the feet. And I see Hakeem Dawodu was the better striker. I think he could chew his legs up, chew his body up, slip a lot of shots, counter, and really tear Arce up. But Arce's one opportunity I see for him is maybe he could fight like a real good boxing style, real good catch and counter type of style, or put that straight down the center. I think that's what these strikers like Hakeem Dawodu and Adesanya and these other guys that like to lean back a lot of times. You can put it straight on that line because they're just going straight back. They're not really circling when they're doing it. Their head's going straight back. And you go straight down the pipe, you could catch them. I think Arce, if he could set that up, he could catch Dawodu and put him down. And Dawodu, I think, did get caught with that in his debut, which led to him getting submitted. So I think Arce has opportunities to catch him with that punch. And he does have some solid, underrated boxing, as I saw on the Contender Series. So if he could definitely find that shot, I think he could win. But other than that, I think on the feet, like Hakeem Dawodu is going to be too fast, too swift and too sharp, and throwing too many shots from too many different angles, mix of the body, legs, the head, and just be really beating Arce to the punch and beat him with the arsenal and accuracy and all volume in all those areas over Arce. So what I see this one going down, I see Hakeem Dawodu just outstriking Arce to a decision. So in this fight, I got Hakeem Dawodu via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in welterweight division, Lyman Good versus Chance Recountre. So looking at this fight, Chance Recountre is a pretty underrated type of fighter. Long, okay striking, more so striking based off volume. It's not going to be something that's amazing, no real technical to it. He got some long arms, he could put the strikes out there, but nothing crazy. Some real solid ground game, heavy pressure on top. But against Lyman Good, I think Lyman Good's takedown defense is good enough, and his grappling is pretty underrated. I don't think Chance Recountre is no real wrestler or nothing. He was a real good wrestler. I could see him having a good chance against Good. But taking on offense and his takedown, his top pressure, I don't think it's good enough to keep Lyman Good down. So I think Lyman Good could defend his takedown and get up if need be. And I think between two, he's the better striker, faster, more power, sharper with his shots. And he's for taller, better strikers than what Recountre brings. So I think Lyman Good for the most part keeps on the feet, lands power, eventually gets in on the inside to land those big shots, and I think he puts Recountre your way. And I think it's in the second round. So in this fight, I got Lyman Good via second round TKO. Now to our next fight we have in the women's flyweight division, Jennifer Maia versus Caitlin Chookagian. So Maia has some decent grappling. Her strike is all right. It's more so she's just volume. She's hungry. She's going to be in your face. Not the most power, not the most this, not the most is that. But going against Caitlin Chookagian, who's like a striking karate style fighter. I don't think Maia's footwork is that good. I don't think she cuts cages off that good. She can fight a fight that's going to be plotting and have some bad knees and going to be right there in front of you. But a fight that's going to be on their toes the whole time, kicking you and moving and drawing so much volume and cutting so many angles. I think Maia's going to look really lost in the aspect. She's going to want to try to get in the clinch. She's going to try, just smash into the clinch. But it's really going to allow her to make her run into elbows, run into knees and stuff. As she try to smash into that clinch. I think that's all going to favor Chookagian. It's going to work against Maia. And for the most part, Caitlin Chookagian's going to be on her bike and picking Maia apart, landing volume. I don't think she finishes her, but I think she heavily outvolumes Maia and beats her to a decision. So in this fight, I have Caitlin Chookagian via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the heavyweight division, Andre Arlovski versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. So in this fight, Andre Arlovski's been looking good, or he looked good in his last fight. But I remember that against because he's fighting a slow Ben Rothwell, who isn't with the Ben Rothwell that was before, was here before the drug test and then before the absence. So I don't know how good you could rate that Ben Rothwell. By the way, Andre Arlovski beat Ben Rothwell twice before that Ben Rothwell and after that Ben Rothwell. So give him his win. He won that fight. He dominated Ben Rothwell, regardless. So but yeah, between these two, I say if Andre Arlovski could have still had his grappling as good as it could, or he had that grappling cardio that he maybe once had, this could be a fight that he could definitely win. But from what I've seen these past couple years is that Arlovski Even if he gets a takedown, he doesn't really do much with it. He struggles with takedown. It's like he kind of really avoids grappling at all. Even if he's going against a fighter that doesn't really have the best grappling defense, like he'll maybe take him down and just stand back up or take. But basically, with this one, I don't see Arlovski really using his takedown. I mean, he's grappling too much, or I don't really see him being effective or using it effectively in this fight. So I see this as a striking match, and I see Jairzinho is the fighter with the faster hands. He's a fresher fighter, and he has too much power. Arlovski's chin is questionable. And he's going against a high-level striker with too much power, with fast hands. I don't think Arlovski's chin can really handle it. And I don't really think he ever really defends himself that well around the guard. And Jairzinho, one of his best shots is a hook that comes real sneakily around the guard. And he has a real good head kick on the other side. So I think eventually he tags. I mean, it's only a matter of time for Jairzinho tags Arlovski with a big shot and he puts him out. And I think it happens in the second round. So in this fight, I got Jairzinho Rozenstruik via second round TKO. Now on to our next fight we have in the middleweight division, Brad Tavares versus Edmen Shahbazyan. So in this fight, you got Brad Tavares, who's been around, a veteran of the game, pretty decent striking, decent pressure. Just a real solid fighter all around. You got Edmen Shahbazyan, a fighter that's a young, up-and-coming talent. I still don't really see nothing all that special about him, but he's a winning fighter. He's a fighter that constantly developing, constantly finding ways to win, and constantly mixing the game up. I see Tavares is a very tough fight for him. I think the size and the youth of Edmen Shahbazyan is going to allow him to do what he continues to do. Like go out there, mix it up well, get some takedowns, control. Maybe outvalue him, outwork his opponents. And maybe kind of beat Brad Tavares on a kind of a gritty, grindy decision. Like by securing some takedowns, maybe kind of trying to smother his cage, outvalue him, and just outwork Brad Tavares. It's going to be a hard competitive fight because that's kind of similar to what Brad Tavares do. But I think the youth, that undefeated, I don't know if he's undefeated, but he kind of fights like an undefeated fighter. If he's not undefeated, it's going to really allow him just to go out there and fight like a fighter that doesn't know how to lose, just outgrind Tavares in a very gritty setting. Brad Tavares is a very good fighter, good measuring stick for him because they kind of, like I said, similar styles in a way. I think Shahbazyan is much more aggressive with his takedowns, much more offensive with his takedowns. But other than that, I think his grappling, he does have some decent grappling. I don't know if we could say it's better than Tavares, but I think Tavares could shut his grappling down for the most part as far as like submission-wise. I think, like I said, with the pace, the pressure, and the aggressiveness with his takedowns and offense, will allow him to edge Tavares slightly on a decision. I think it's going to be a competitive one, but I think Shahbazyan just slightly outgrinds and out-hustles him to a decision. So in this fight, I got Edmen Shahbazyan via decision. So now to our co-prelim headliner we have in the featherweight division, Shane Burgos versus Makwan Amirkhani. So looking at this fight could be a real quick prediction. I'm going to give a real quick prediction. Makwan Amirkhani has some okay striking, kind of a suspect chin, but lots of heart. Lots of heart. He's a warrior. Where he's best at is on the ground. He's very solid on the ground, off his back, on offense. Good at setting submissions. Very sneaky, very talented. A very talented fighter, pretty much all around. But against Shane Burgos takedown defense is solid. He has some solid takedown defense. So Makwan's going to struggle to even get him in his world. And then on the ground, Burgos is no slouch on the ground either. He's definitely not Makwan Amirkhani. I think Amirkhani wins that ground fight every day. But I think he's good enough to maybe defend the takedowns, like the offense on the ground, and get back to his feet. If he even has to go to the ground or gets taken down, which I really don't see that happening either. But on the feet, I think they're worlds apart. Shane Burgos is just faster hands, way better boxing, way better offensively, defensively. He's going to be in Makwan Amirkhani's face. He's a pressure fighter. He's going to be mixing to his body, mixing to his head. It really just boxing Amirkhani up. And I think he really just puts him away. Like, I don't think it's really even that competitive on the feet. Amirkhani's maybe going to try to run, maybe try to be awkward, maybe try to do this, but going to get shut down, going to get beat to his body, beat to his head. And I think he gets put away. And I think it happens in the third round. So in this fight, I got Shane Burgos via third round TKO. Now to our main event we have in the light heavyweight division, Corey Anderson versus Johnny Walker. So this is a very pivotal fight right here in the light heavyweight division. This fight could very well catapult Johnny Walker to a title shot or to a number one contender fight. It really could be a number one contender fight, especially for Corey Anderson if he beats Johnny Walker. But look at this fight. You got Corey Anderson, who just been doing what I guess was supposed to do from the moment he came in and like kind of come up the division. Now he's coming off wins over Ilir Latifi and Glover Teixeira, and finally looking like the fighter he was supposed to be. You got Johnny Walker, who just came out of nowhere and now in knocking everybody out like in the first and second round, getting finishes, and now 6'6" Brazilian with a name of what's it called, a liquor or something. But yeah, he's just been coming out here and just tearing up the division. So in this one, I kind of see like Corey Anderson could definitely go out there and put the fight on Johnny Walker that needs to be put on Johnny Walker to beat Johnny Walker. But I see with Corey Anderson, yes, he's looking like he's supposed to look now, but I still think he has the same openings that you could catch him with. Like, he's going to be open for those weird, like, probably flying knees that Johnny Walker's like, because he's going to be looking for a takedown heavy, so his chin going to probably be lower, kind of level change. But I don't think he sets his takedowns up all that phenomenal that a takedown, flying knees out of the question. So I think he's going to be coming in reaching for those takedowns so that flying knees going to be available. His hands don't really be up at a lot of times because he got caught by a head kick from, what's his name? OSP. So when they went to do a spinning back fist or something like that, he could catch him. A lot of times he has those hands a little bit low. They be up, but they be a little bit low. So you can catch him around the side. Johnny Walker be the fastest striker. So it's really a fight. I think if you took out knockouts, Corey Anderson could win it, definitely. But this is a real fight. This is a reality. I think Corey Anderson is going to leave a lot of openings. I think Johnny Walker's going to be looking to take advantage of those. I think Corey Anderson could probably find some success in this fight, but I think it's the fight. 15 minutes is too long for Johnny Walker to not land something wild on a guy that's kind of can be a little bit timid at times or be a little bit willing to take shots. And then, even in these last fights, Corey Anderson still took shots from Ilir Latifi. He took shots from Glover Sherry. Is that he was just able to wear them a little bit better than he did in the past. And then when they got tired, he just outworked them. But against Johnny Walker's going to have power and he's going to have unpredictability. He's going to have youth, power, youth, and unpredictability on his sides. And he's going to have size on his side, too. He's 6'6". Corey Anderson like 6'2", 6'3". He's going against a 6'6" guy who could jump over the bleachers. I think eventually Johnny Walker just catches him at one point in his fight. Even Corey Anderson put on a good fight. I think Johnny Walker's unpredictability, his explosiveness, his range, just really his overall build is going to allow him to eventually catch Anderson. Like, whether it be him reaching for a takedown or really just kind of being too lax with his defense on the striking. I think Johnny Walker catches him, and I think he puts him away in the third round. So in this fight, I have Johnny Walker via third round TKO. And that concludes my fight predictions for the prelims of UFC 244, Masvidal versus Diaz. And as always, thanks for watching.